Well, we're on our way to a model contest, a plastic model contest at the event center over here, the community center. Should be a good deal of fun. It's the IPMS, the International Plastic Modelers Society. Huge international club with hundreds and hundreds of chapters all over the world. And they have these little shows all year round, all over the world. And they're just a really good deal of fun and some pretty high-level modeling going on at these things too. So let's check that out. The IPMS, or International Plastic Modelers Society, started off in life as the British Plastic Modelers Society just over 50 years ago. So they just celebrated their 50th anniversary. Today they have thousands of members living on 6 of the 7 continents. That would be the ones that have people living on them. They're well represented in dozens and dozens and dozens of countries. They still, to this day, sponsor one of the biggest, well, probably the biggest model contest in the world in Telford, Shropshire, England. It's not uncommon to have over 1,000 models entered in just that one show. Now, a lot of people will tell you that the IPMS is a club for military modelers, and certainly when you go to one of these shows, what you see is a lot of military aircraft, some civilian aircraft, and also a lot of armor. But you know, it's really just sort of ended up that way. It never was set out to be a military modeling club. The goal originally was to promote modeling with plastic. Back in the 1950s and the early 1960s, plastic models were a brand new thing. Before that, models were built of wood or brass, metal of some kind, sometimes cardstock, but never plastic. But after World War II, plastics, which were a fairly new invention, suddenly emerged on the market as plastic models. And everybody just started building them. It became a global phenomenon that everybody, kids and adults alike, were building plastic models. A lot of the traditionalist modelers were, well, sort of offended by all these plastic models. They were saying, come on, real people work in brass or wood. I mean, how can you expect to be a serious modeler if you're building a plastic model kit? The IPMS was formed to support plastic modeling through contests mostly in an effort to get manufacturers to build more and more plastic models. Plastic modeling really took off in Japan too. It was a phenomenon in the United States and Europe, but then it really took off in Japan. Back in the States, automotive modeling really took off. It became so big that it sort of eclipsed all the other aspects of the hobby. And so in America, they started publishing magazines devoted just to plastic car modeling, clubs for that, contests for that. And the car modelers sort of ended up going off on their own and leaving the IPMS behind. And so the military guys were just sort of left there. It wasn't because they intended it that way, it's just that everybody else left. All manner of really cool automotive subjects came out, and well, everybody, myself included, were just building cars like crazy. There were just so many cool things that you could get and build. All kinds of hot rods, race cars. And then along came Ed Roth and his crazy creations. If you haven't seen the episodes on Ed Roth, go back and check that out, because those are really cool. But the rat-fink/weirdo phenomenon really took off, and people started building these monsters in these crazy hot rods, and well, that was cool beyond all belief. But the bottom line was, if it was an automotive subject, you could get a plastic model of it and you could build it. And in the meantime, the military guys were doing their own thing too. The IPMS shows are really fun. One of the things they have is a big dealer room where you can see all these great plastic models for sale. Guys buy probably 10 or 20 times more kits than they could ever hope to build, and they just sort of stash them away and trade them like you might do with baseball cards or something. It's a major part of the hobby, just collecting the kits. Now, certainly I would never buy more plastic model kits than I could hope to build, It's just that I'm planning to live to be 573, and so, well, I just have to stock up a little bit, that's all. The truth of the matter is I have a 2-car garage with 12-foot ceilings, which is packed floor to ceiling with plastic models. So yeah, I'm sort of guilty of that too. I call that place Garage Mahal, and well, in some upcoming episode I have a funny feeling we're going to find our way over there and take a look at that. That might be fun. And if I actually build one of those models, I'll bring it over here to the IPMS show and enter it. Because you can enter darn near anything. I tend to not build military models, but that's okay. Something like Forbidden Planet here is right up my alley. So that's pretty cool. Al did enter this year with one of his plastic railroad cars, scratch build of course, won his division of course. And I still love to build plastic model cars, and you can see that the car people are here. A lot of them never really left, and they have a pretty good contest just for the plastic model cars and motorcycles and stuff as well. And if you do build military subjects, well, you're not going to find more robust competition than you'll find at any IPMS show. So if you're into that sort of thing, or if you're just into building any kind of plastic models, then you might want to think about joining the IPMS. At the very least, coming out and entering their contests, because it's pretty good, robust competition. And if you can win here, well, that's saying a lot. And if you really want to go over the top, go to Telford, England and enter the big mega show and see how you can do there. Now that would be a gas, wouldn't it? No one could accuse you of not screwing around on an incredibly high level if you did that. Well, there you go, a small little show by the IPMS, in this case here in Salt Lake City, but they're all over the place. They also have really huge and even one giant international convention every year. If one of those things happens in your area, it's well worth checking out, I assure you. Well, do pop over to the website if you haven't been over there. That's toymentelevision.com, and of course the YouTube channel, Toyman Television on YouTube. There's also a Facebook page, of course, that you can go looking for, and you can like me there. Do subscribe on the channel. If you get over there, there's a subscribe button, and any second now a little blue subscribe button's going to pop up right up here, and you can just click on that and that'll take you to the channel and you'll subscribe. It's really simple. I'm not sure how you found this movie on the internet. I sure as heck hope you didn't find it boring, and I'll see you here again in 1 week with some more fine screwing around Toyman style. I'll see you then. Bye.